My name is Michael Timcisco, and I am the lucky person that gets to be your worship associate this morning. I'm also a part of the team that's working to bring this service to you wherever you may be. We are an inclusive congregation that welcomes you as you are, inclusive of all your identities, complexities, and situations. We welcome your whole self, even if it isn't fully assembled, because we all recognize that we are all still a work in progress, and that we are all in this together. This service is being posted on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page so that folks can watch it again later. Please feel free to share it with your friends. Okay, now, a minute for greeting each other with a wave, a fist bump, or a handshake. Let's go. That was fun. All right, while we are still standing, we will recite our opening affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. For these high purposes do we unite in worship. Yeah, please take a seat. Thank you. All right. Chalice lighting. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears about the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace. I think now it's the story for all ages. So we're going to invite our guest speaker up here right now, and I'm proud to introduce Myss Myka.
Hello everyone, and thank you for allowing me to join you guys today. I am so excited to be here and present, as my entertaining personality is Myss Myka. I've been a performer here in Amarillo for the past 7 years, and in my style, breaking ground in the process. And so we would like to continue to do so and invite people to learn and grow and encourage support and unity, especially with this fellowship. I appreciate you guys so much and all the things you do for the community. So today we're going to be reading Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag. It's written by Rob Sanders and illustrated by Steven Salerno. So you have to give them hope. Hope for a better world and hope for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk was an ordinary man, but he had an extraordinary dream. That dream would change history. Harvey dreamed that every person would be equal. Oops, sorry. So sorry. I've got to get used to these. I'm so sorry. He dreamt that one day people would be able to live and love as they pleased. Apologize. With his New York Harvey talked to everyone about his dream. Like my country one. His voice boomed. His body bounced with energy and excitement. Some people listened. A few agreed, but most did not. Harvey's big voice and his big dreams wouldn't be stopped. He discussed the best way to change laws was to help make laws. In 1972, Harvey Milk took a big step toward that dream and to become one of the first openly gay people to be elected political office in the United States. Harvey and his friends planned marches to protest inequality and unfair laws. A symbol, he thought. We need a symbol that shows who we are and how we feel. Something to carry during the march. Something to make people feel they were part of the community. Something to give people hope. Something extraordinary. Harvey knew an artist that could help, Gilbert Baker. Harvey said, "Gilbert, we need a flag." Volunteers arrived to help Gilbert's design come to life. Together, they dipped fabric into large barrels filled with vivid and vibrant dyes. Harvey, Gilbert, and other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes, a flag that Harvey would hope would give hope. On June 25th, 1978, when it was time for the march, a breeze stirred in San Francisco. The flag unfurled. The wind blew. The flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. A rainbow, as bright and unique as the men and women who walked behind it in the march. Harvey and the people asked for equality. They asked to be treated like everyone else. They asked to live and love as they pleased. They hoped the march would make a difference. Five months later, on the morning of November 27th, 1978, Harvey and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, were murdered, assassinated. Their lives were taken by a man who did not think like Harvey, or feel like him, or love like him. The flag did not fly on that dark day and night. Instead, thousands and thousands of people marched silently carrying candles. The candlelight wove through the streets of San Francisco and up and down the hills and around city buildings. A mile of glowing candlelight in honor of 2 lives lost. That could have been the end of Harvey's dream and the colorful flag, but it wasn't. hope. More rainbow flags were created. Some of the colors changed. 8 stripes became 6 stripes, but the meaning of the flag did not change. It was a flag of equality. More and more people began to think of the flag as their flag, and they began to feel pride. Together, we could all feel pride. In 1994, Gilbert Baker designed another rainbow flag. This one was larger than all the rest. Women and men, side by side, carried the flag, a proud, mile-long rainbow flag floating through New York City. The flag wove through the streets, up and down avenues, boulevards, and around city buildings. The people demanded equality. They demanded to be treated like everyone else. They demanded to love and to be loved as they pleased. They were proud. They had hope. They would make a difference, like you guys. You guys are helping make a difference. More rainbow flags were made. Some were printed on bumper stickers and t-shirts. Others were hoisted on lampposts and Halsted Street in Chicago. One was hung in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Soon, the rainbow flag was flying in other countries, like Brazil, England, Israel, Russia, Singapore, and Turkey. The rainbow flag now unfurled on farms, in suburbs, and in cities. The flag flew proudly outside public buildings, hotels, shops, restaurants, churches, and homes. And once, on June 26, 2015, the White House was awash in the colors of the rainbow flag. Equality, pride, hope, love. Harvey's dream became a flag for us all. You have to give them hope. Harvey Milk. That was Pride, a story of Harvey Milk and the Pride flag. Thank you guys so much.
I'm not doing that. But you are welcome to sing our children out.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May our love and care surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
That was pretty good. I think we do need a lead singer, though, to kind of like start that off. All right, we're at a wonderful point in our service where we come together and share our joys and concerns. Come forward, state your name, and put a lighted candle in the sand bowl. And I'm going to start us off. Okay, Jason and I, Jason's my partner for a long, long time. We've missed y'all terribly, and our joy today is being here together again with all of you. Thank you. Next. Come on, let's go. Joys, concerns.
I'm Claudia Stravato, and I am so thrilled that our congregation is having this program today. We've always been an LGBTQ affirming congregation, but it's important to personalize and know people who love in a different way. And I'm particularly proud because I have a gay sister and a trans grandson. And I'm so thrilled that we can celebrate all people. I have a little thing on my refrigerator, and it says, "All kinds of love are better than any kind of hate."
My name is Jennifer Danford Lewis, and my joy today is that an injunction was put in place against SB 14. My concern is that physicians are still too scared to give care to transgender youth here in Amarillo, which makes it necessary for families like mine to drive out of state to get the medical care their children need.
My name is Joan Urban, and I want to share a joy. For the past several weeks, there's been a path to new membership class, and so far we have 3 official new members, and I wanted to tell you who they are, and that after the service, if they're here, they can sign the book. And when April Myers gets back from her vacation, we will get the little pin that goes with that. So Arana Hagan and Allie Reams are here today, I believe, and another person, Clint Oberbeck. So we want to, can you stand up, Arana and Allie? There you are.
My name is Agnieszka Weber, and I'm visiting your church, so it's my joy and privilege to be here. I know that my husband would not approve, but, you know, God is God. Doesn't matter, you know, how you worship Him, how you believe in Him. He's one true God, and God is love, so I'm really glad that I was able to come here.
Welcome.
My name, as you heard before, is Arana Hagan, and is that the right name? Yeah. The last time I joined a church, I was 9 years old, and I don't really remember a lot about it, other than I had to go talk to the assistant pastor, and apparently whatever I said, he assumed I was saved. And what I do remember was there was a new hamburger stand in town, and we went for hamburgers afterwards. So my joy is that today I'm joining with consciousness and commitment, and there's no food involved.
Okay. If there's no one else that needs to share anything today or wants to share with us today, I'm going to light one final candle for the joys and concerns not shared, but still felt deeply in our hearts. And God bless Harvey Milk. Okay. Well, that was fun. We don't have a drag show for you today, though. But November 11th, Paso's returning with Turnabout, so don't forget and come and see us November 11th. Today's reading, Feel That. Jason.
Gosh, and after all that energy, this is written by Gwen Matthews. Feel that? Each breath, every inhale, every exhale. We are living, breathing, connected. We are the whole, complete, beautiful selves that we were born to be. Feel that? In your bones, in your muscle, in your heart, your blood. That is the extraordinary you, the you who was born for this time, for this place, for this moment. Feel that? The struggle, the worry, the pain, the loss, the grief. It is still you. You are still the whole, complete, beautiful, extraordinary. Feel that.
Okay. During this time, we're going to share 15 seconds of silence. As we relax into that silence, I want to invite you to think about who you're grateful for and what you're grateful for. I'm going to close with these words from Meister Eckhart. If the only prayer that you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. All right. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our speaker for today. Myka is a local performer, entertainer, and show producer who performs in drag. Drag is a form of art and self-expression that is not easily defined. There are many forms and fashions of drag, and the entertainers vary in style across the United States. Myka is a bearded drag queen because she chooses to keep their beard and is part of a gender-bending aesthetic with a hefty dose of glitter for good measure. For the past 7 years, Myka has been Amarillo's glitter bearded queen. Myka has been featured in a cross-country documentary, featured in local news articles, and produces shows in Amarillo and Drag Storytime. Myka has performed and competed in Texas, New Mexico, and Kentucky, most recently competing for the title of Texas Bearded Queen in Houston, and qualified to compete for the title of America's Bearded Queen against 25 contestants from across the U.S. to take place in Dallas, Texas in mid-November. Myss Myka.
so much, Michael, for that wonderful introduction. I'm actually glad that y'all saw the little snippet of the RuPaul Queens because I hope that I get the chance and get casted on the show and represent Amarillo as the bearded queen and the first one for the U.S. So, wish me luck for that. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for allowing me the opportunity to tell my story. To get to the nitty-gritty, I have to touch on some of the dark spots. So I promise there is light at the end. So thank you for listening to my story. I was born in 1985, raised in Dotsonville, Texas, located in the southeast corner of the Panhandle. I was the child of a Latin immigrant father and third-generation immigrant mother. I grew up raising livestock and maintained farmland. My father cared for me as a single parent from when I was the age of 6 until my preteens. As a child, and before child labor laws, I worked as a farmhand. I hoed cotton and sprayed peanuts, a time and place where a child's daydreams could get lost in the wide open fields, crops, and rolling hills that seemed to endlessly carry on. I went to school and graduated as a Wellington Skyrocket in 2004 with honors. I was elected student body vice president my junior year and president my senior year. I was also the drum major my junior and senior years for the marching band and 6-time recipient of the DAR Citizenship Award. So I'd like to consider myself an intelligent and caring person. At least those people thought so. Growing up, I knew I was different. The things I felt did not align with the heteronormative culture. The theologies that were taught to me from the onset of my life led me to believe that I, forever and always, would never be a part of. I would always be forsaken and remain apart from, as an outcast on the boundary of a realm where I could never truly attain a promised peace and comfort. I've always had high morals. There was an intense internal conflict with what I perceived to be my immoral mentality, and a personal resolution to attain a promised, celebrated conclusion. I continually struggled with my identity. I always questioned as to why I would have been born having emotions and sentiments that were deemed taboo, when in my heart I felt I was an honest, caring, considerate, and compassionate person. I've always had a general love for life and the people I encountered, as you all today. I felt I had to fix the broken parts of my spirit, and I hid certain aspects of my character to fit in, refraining from any suspecting physical movements, awkward voice inflections, or effeminate mannerisms that would result in any person questioning my sexuality. I would pray night after night in tears, begging for those personality traits to be whisked away, that I might miraculously be reborn into this devout person, free from the internal turmoil, guilt, and grief that affected me daily, to be born a normal person. That cleansing moment never happened. The moment I yearned for never came to fruition. As a young adult, I truly felt that no woman would ever love me, knowing that I had or could ever attain a romantic connection to a person of the same sexual identity. Upon high school graduation, I immediately went to work for a local company. I had the opportunity to relocate to Amarillo, and I moved here in 2004. I quickly learned the tricks of my trade, never went to college, and not long after, I was moved permanently into an office where I had the opportunity to work on my own projects. Many of which you may walk into every day. None of those of which I can tell you about for this. On September 1st, which is the next few days, I'm going to be celebrating my 19-year work anniversary with the same company. I work in the blue-collar industry, and 20 years ago, the general public sentiment was quite different than what it is today. In moving to Amarillo, I felt as though I would be able to gain a little relief in a larger, more diverse area, where perhaps I may somehow find my internal peace. I'm sure some of you are aware, in a small town, everybody knows everyone and everything about everyone. Given our regional demographic and the geopolitical climate, I was ever conscious of the way I'd speak and interact with people, protecting myself and my livelihood. I'd kind of describe it as a country robotic professionalism. In my early 20s, I began to grow tired of the person I was portraying. I felt lonely, and I had chastised myself in the pursuit of devout faith. As the years went by, I began to see the reality of mortality. I felt a fear that I'm still somehow doomed to an imagined fate, forever forsaken. The conflicts of being true to myself, being true in the eyes of others, continually haunted me. I knew that lingering questions must be answered. I decided to tell my secret to only a couple of very close friends who knew me, who I trusted, and who I felt understood me and would still love me for me. I was instantly rejected, with years of friendship instantly becoming insignificant and irrelevant. Still searching for acceptance. Through that pain, I confided in a mother figure. I knew I'd never tell my father. I understood his sacrifices, and I didn't want to be seen as a failure in his eyes, considering all that we had been through alone and together. However, secrets that are spoken will come out in the open. I came up with that myself. Learning that my father became aware, I naturally inquired to his reaction. I was told he was quite upset, and that he had said he'd wished he'd have known sooner so we could have done something about it. He's since passed away, and I've never had the chance to figure out the intent or statement behind what he said. And I will never know, but I choose to focus on the positive. I was struggling internally, suffering with desperation of not fulfilling a purpose and a guilt of perpetuating a lie, ashamed of my secret, ashamed of myself. I sought guidance and a direction for which I could fix my downfalls. I began therapy through a devout spiritual program. It was my conversion therapy. I worked with guidance, finance, and life counselors to begin a new way of life. I dedicated myself to those goals set before me, though in the process, I began to feel even more lost than ever. Mentally, I tried to fix my heart, but my heart knew more than I was able to understand in that moment. This culminated into my eventual abuse of mind-altering substances. I stayed up enough to be enough, but down enough to I wouldn't feel those thoughts and they wouldn't bring me pain. I was about to turn 30. I became unmotivated and a detriment to myself. I realized I was on a quick path to the end and that I needed more help than what I could provide for myself. I found a local facility to force a reset, to clear my mind and remove negative affiliations and contacts. Upon completion, I began to gain some ground. I then joined a public self-help group for addicts. I connected with people trying to overcome their personal struggles just as I had. People who had been dealt difficult hands, but remained free of judgment and dedicated to supporting people searching for their own life recovery. I quickly became involved as a member of the group. I was elected to lead nightly meetings in which I provided topics for peer discussion. I found a new sense of self-worth, confidence, and a courage to be myself, all the while helping others. Feeling a new freedom, I found a venue that catered to the gay community. In this new atmosphere and in the unknown, I felt no fear. I apologize. Feeling a new freedom, and in this new atmosphere, I dressed how I wanted. with an exaggerated flair and gusto. This confidence grew over time, along with new friends that I'd come to meet. I began performing from the onset of my outset. I developed the glitter-bearded persona you see before you today. Even then, there were battles I had to overcome to be seen as a part of that community. Unique in my approach, I had a hope of being accepted. I've developed amazing relationships that developed into a sense of family, with encouragement, with support, and with love. And love for each other. I've been gifted opportunities to provide ways in which the community can connect, celebrate, and enjoy their own personal freedoms through the art of drag. I found my voice and a motivation to encourage unity, love, and acceptance. And my voice has only gotten stronger, and it continues to grow. And I will always use my voice for those who have lost theirs. My hope is that any person who is struggling as I have can find hope, strength, and a community of support. Unitarian Universalism is a religion that celebrates diversity and a belief and is guided by 7 principles. Number 1, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Number 2, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Number 3, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Number 4, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Number 5, the right of conscience and the use of democratic process within our congregation and in society at large. Number 6, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Number 7, respect for the interdependent web of all existence in which we are a part. Had I found a fellowship like this when I felt the most alone, my life would have absolutely resulted in a different life path. And I wouldn't have had the opportunity of speaking with you all today. But being granted this opportunity, I'd like to encourage those in need of finding fellowship and investigating for yourselves. I feel an importance in finding community and having a resource to reach out to when you feel the most alone. Strength lies in the community and the people who are there to sincerely support you and encourage you. Together, we can promote unity, love, and a hope for a better tomorrow. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate that and appreciate you. Are you really that tall, or how big are those heels? I'm just curious. Okay, all right. All right, at this time, it's our offering. May we give this offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we give in love and in hope. Okay, things that are coming up at the fellowship. Continuing, Nothing Much Buddhist Group, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. It's over Zoom, so please check their Facebook page if you need any more information. Book Club, every fourth Tuesday of each month. Sorry, Dick, didn't mean to scare you there. Every fourth Tuesday. Knowledge Seekers on Sunday mornings here at the fellowship at 10 a.m. Knowledge Seekers group meets at the fellowship to view and discuss DVD presentations on various topics, and all are welcome. Big event, Sunday, September 10th. After service, it's the Season of Giving 2024. There's a kickoff dinner at 12:30 p.m. at the Hofbrau Steakhouse. Please RSVP no later than September 4th. Also, on September 10th, I believe that our message is, let me start September 3rd, next Sunday, Dr. Chuck Fisher. September 10th, really great, Shanna Peoples. If you're not familiar with Shanna, she is from Amarillo and was the National Teacher of the Year back in 2016, okay? And then September 17th, we'll have Dr. Wade Schaefer. Craft for a Cause, first Thursday, fourth Saturday of every month. First Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Fourth Saturday, 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. All right. So this is the message of our faith: to act with passion in the face of injustice, to love with courage in the midst of life's pain. This is the meaning of our chalice flame. May it empower our hearts until we're together again. All right, another song. Someone needs to lead. May the fellowship of this hour touch and move our lives until we come again together. Go in peace. Thank you, everybody.